Perfect. Hey, welcome back. I'm Todd from Toxic Garage Customs. Thanks for joining me. I've been building some steel racks. Also, been doing a bit of work on the International. Also, been doing a bit of work on Sam's GMC. And I've probably been doing some other stuff as well. Let you watch the video, check out, see what else I've been doing. See you at the end. Okie dokie, so the time has come to take the tray off the International and take it outside. So Sam and I have got a million chains and jerry rigs and jimmies and all sorts of stuff set up, cables and winches and everything. Got on the trailer sideways, and now we're going to fit it through the door, which is going to be near impossible because it's nearly as wide as the door, and we've got it on sideways. All the planning is going exactly as we had planned. So you watch, see how this goes. Remember people, this is YouTube, this is for entertainment. Don't do anything like we do, because it is noted that we are idiots. Well, Sam is anyway. I'm fine. Okay, so we got it on there. Only lost 3 toes and 1 arm and smashed a tail light. Not really, didn't damage anything, other than the number plate. The number plate did cop a bit of a battering. But we are ready to move this thing, and look, I can now work on the back of the pig. Nice. Okay, we're back in the land of the lucky. So Sam's doing a bit of work on Clive the GMC. Since we put the suspension flip drop kit thing in, he now wants to drive it because it'll clearly drive differently. So we went for the very sparse interior look. Got matching milk crates, one for him, one for her. And we have got a battery precariously sitting here with no way of supporting it. We might want to put a rubber octopus strap around that, Sam, just to be super safe. And we've got the air horn sitting on top of the air conditioning and just wires generally running everywhere, so it's perfect. Time to go and do a strip down the road. Got the sorry, not the air cleaner, the radiator just sitting there, so the fan's sure to go through that. So yeah, we also have a return fuel system set up. I really do think that General Motors skimped when they put the tank in these. You'd think for a 5.7 cubic litre motor they'd put a bigger fuel tank than that, but you know, whatever. I never really understood having fuel tanks in the cabin, but that's what they did, so we'll run with that. So this will be the maiden voyage, I guess. we've done absolutely nothing to the mechanicals of this since Sam's owned it, other than maybe give it a sort of a spark plug to make it run on 7. And other than that, the suspension and some rust repairs. So it's time to get into it, I guess. I'm just wattling on. Sam's setting up a camera over there so that he can run over it, I guess. Let's do this thing. Heaven help us. The handbrake's probably dragging anyway. Water running out of the door. We had to drill a hole in it because there was about 27 litres of water in the door. Perfectly running on about 6 cylinders by the sounds of it. What could possibly go wrong? Probably tightened everything after we replaced the suspension. Don't know if the tail shaft's long enough. Sam's got it spin around on the grass. Sure, chew up the grass. Go for your life. Don't criticise your son. You're on video. It's got to go international. People think you're a bad mother. First time this thing's actually driven under its own steam for, oh, it'd have to be close to a year, I reckon. Hillbilly! .7 litres of pure fuel burning, ozone depleting power. Now, Sam's mother, Davina, just asked him a question. Why did you take the seat out to do this? That's a really valid question, really. That's because, well, that's what you do, isn't it? You just take the seat out when you go to drive a car. I think he's pretty happy about this. In all seriousness, he bought this thing, knew it had a lot of rust in it, wanted a project, had it for over a year now. It's never been registered in Australia. So yeah, he's making progress with it. He very patiently sat and waited while we did this move, and that was months and months in the making. And now he's able to drive it backwards and forwards with a Molotov cocktail strapped to beside him in the cabin. Parenting 101. Oop, our rooster over there is taking advantage, and now the guinea fowl's taking advantage as well. Come on guys, you're on video here. How's she feel? How is she?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Lovely. Okay, I will jump in.
Yeah, man.
Okay, Sam and I are now in the danger zone. Okay, here we are. I feel safe in this milk crate.
Yep.
Drum of fuel strapped beside me.
As you should.
Got a cabin that's sort of half mounted on, so we put half the cab mounts in. Lovely. That's it, go on the lawn again.
It's running a little bit rich.
Yep. It's running. That's all that matters. running beautifully. What is that?
It's
Oh, that's the backfire.
Yeah.
Or is it the exhaust hitting the diff?
Nah, it's just popping. Oh, yeah.
So, your farm truck, that makes me Asian.
I'm not that old, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be farm truck. You can be Asian. Well, that guy's the craziest Uber driver I've ever had. He's getting no star review from me.
5 star. 5 star.
What?
5 star.
5 star. 5 star report. Come on, mate. If you want 5 stars, at least put an interior in your car, okay? And get it running properly. Show us the roof lights, Sam. Oh, look at that. Big rig coming through. You see us coming. I think he's pretty happy. So it's another one of those bits and pieces kind of videos. Sam and I took tray off this yesterday, which I did have some footage of us taking it off, nearly killing ourselves. So I've really done anything else to it other than just moved it across. I was making something else for the house, another firewood holding stand, which I've shown previously. Sam's got the wipe cowl taken off here. It had already been taken off so that we could let the snake have somewhere to sleep, but he's actually taking it with him so he can match the paint up, so that when we continue on with the body work, which I have no doubt we will be doing more body work on this very soon, which I'm looking forward to. I was enjoying working on this previously. We still have sections of the floor to replace. So we've done a heap of work in here, replaced a lot of the floor, a lot of the floor, and we've cut sections out that we've never quite got to. So we've got to do cab corners, got to do right the way across the back there, but it's getting good. Unfortunately, when we left off on this, we never got a chance to really finish anything, so everything was bare metalled, and actually there was some stuff we put in primer, but a lot of stuff was bare metalled and it's got rust all over it, but we'll treat that, convert it, and do all that sort of stuff. Underneath's had a lot of work, so we'll do finish the cab corners off and all that sort of stuff. So we'll continue along with that, and there is a bit of rust in the firewall, just a few spots, and yeah, we can keep going along. I think Sam's got to customise paint his grill somehow. I can't remember exactly what he said. We did a lot of work to the inner guards and the radiator support as well. Radiator support unfortunately didn't get epoxy primed on the outside, but we did epoxy prime it on the inside. We had to replace rust where the battery tray was and where the bolts go in down here. Did a fair bit of reconstruction on the inner guards. They were actually a horrible mess. So I think Sam's got to paint those body colour, which is unusual. It's normally black, but such is his choice. A bit of rust there, a bit over there, a spot just there somewhere. Overall, it's not too bad. As you will have heard, the motor is misfiring a bit, but hopefully we can sort that out. There's a bit of rust around the cab corners, around the roof line and so on. Bits and pieces. The intention with this is fix it, get it registered, and then as Sam wishes, go along and he might decide, okay, got to attack the roof and do some rust repair around there and then paint that, but just make it so that it's drivable and on the road and can be patched up, touched up along the way. He's gone through various incarnations with this, but the latest one is keep these wheels on. He's got to paint them a colour. What colour are you going to paint your wheels, Sam?
The wheels?
Yeah.
I was going to paint them white.
Yeah, okay. So white. So they were white previously, so he's got to paint them white.
Yeah,
he was
a refresh.
Yep.
White.
Yep. And these chunky big tyres, they're being left on there because they're beasts, I think. 265s or something, aren't they?
Yeah.
16 265 80 series or something, I guess.
75, I think.
Yep.
70.
70 series, yep. So they're big chunky tyres. Obviously the drop kit. The tray's got a fair bit of rust in it. Looks alright from the outside. It's got a little bit of flaky paint, so it looks alright. So if we can manage it, we should be able to keep it so that we don't have to do too much to the outside of it. We've got to put a lot of floor braces and all that sort of stuff, but it's off. We can flip it upside down. That is not going to be hard. It'll be a little bit time consuming, but it won't be hard work. So that'll be good. Sam's got his carpet here, which is carpet. It's got lots of rust stains and things on it, and there's a few holes chewed in it, like this one here, which only happened recently from bloody rats. So in the short term that'll go back in, maybe the long term, but in the short term definitely. The seat's actually in really good nick. It's over there somewhere, and the door cards are pretty good. So yeah, shouldn't be too hard to make this a cool get on the road and go for a cruise looking pretty farm truck around the rural area, which is where we live. So yeah, back to me.
Sounds good.
Enter. I haven't done much to it. So with the Enter, I made a list, broad sweep sort of a list of what I need to do. I was having trouble getting my brain around it. I got so many things going on here, like property, all sorts of different things. So this is just some stuff I need to do. So you can see there's some bigger items and some smaller items, most of them bigger type items. I've actually done a lot to this truck. I've achieved a lot with it, and I love it. I really like the look of it. So we'll tick off boxes along the way. Now that I've taken the tray off, I'm sort of going back to a smaller type thing. The big one's super functional, such a big tray, but it's such a cool looking truck. I think it'd really benefit from a step side type rear end, or even a really nice flat, sideless, polished timber tray or something like that. I think it'd look good. Stay tuned on that one. It means I've got to fabricate something, which that's always my preference. So I've got to fabricate something that's what I prefer. But what I'm doing here on this board, those bits of steel there, I'll mount those to the wall, and I'm going to use these parts of the shed structure here, and just in the height above my English wheel there, which needs a really good clean up, I'm going to put probably 3 rows of metal racks to hold lengths like that. It's 3 meters between those supports. So I want to make a bottom shelf, and so I can put all little bits that would otherwise fall through. So I'll make an actual shelf, and then some brackets to hold stuff up. So I'm going to start getting onto that, I think. I'm feeling pretty motivated at the moment. So let's do that. I don't know what you do for fun, but we all drive around cars that are incomplete. Okay, so this is Lily driving Sam's car with Sam holding Pumbaa. Now, I pretend to be a nice guy, but Lily just destroyed my grass. She doesn't care at all. Do a skid. Yeah, handbrake's locking on a bit because that cable's tight. She might be a bit heavy-footed on the stop pedal as well. Made a start on this these brackets to hold my length of steel. So I've just welded a bit of angle on there, and the same on this end, just to make sure they're the same height as well. And then I've just divided the space up. So I've got a line just here and a line here. So this is a 3 meter bay. So those lines are 1 meter apart. And what I'm going to do is run a length of bar from the ground up to just below the roof there, and I'm going to mount it off in particular points. So it'll be fixed into the framework behind, and then I'll put some more brackets like this coming off it. So at those points, so there'll be shelves, I guess, shelf brackets coming out at 1 meter spacings, and then that bottom shelf in particular, got to build a frame around it and put some mesh, this sort of mesh, on the actual shelf, and probably build a couple little boxes and things, and that's so that that bottom shelf can hold all of this sort of stuff, which is offcuts, which may look like scrap but comes in super handy. And then we'll probably put another 2 shelves above it, another 2 areas, so one up there. I don't know, they don't have to be too much higher, maybe only 200 or 300 mil higher, and then one above that, and that's so I can put longer lengths up there. And then I will have space to put all my all my steel and everything, and my timber will probably end up outside. But I may make another one just to put some length of timber. We'll see. Depends how excited I get. What I am doing at the moment is I'm extending. So this piece of steel, the longer one, wasn't long enough to do the job that I wanted. So I've just prepared, and I'm using a piece of angle iron here, and I've just got it clamped in there to keep it straight, true and parallel. And I've just cleaned up on the ends there and chamfered it and left a little bit of a gap so that I can weld it up. And if I need to grind it flat on one surface so it fits up against the wall neatly, I will. That should give me the length that I need and plenty of strength. New day. Got these brackets put up here yesterday. Got these bars made up. This is one, just got it clamped to my bead roller. It's got the bracket on it there, and I'm just putting a foot plate on it. It's just got a single hole in it, and I'm going to dynabolt it to the ground. It's more just to stop the bottom from kicking out, and it's just going to help push the load down onto the floor rather than onto the wall. But then I'm going to weld some little plates onto the back of this upright bar that'll mount onto the wall as well, and then there'll be a frame across there. So that's coming up okay. Well, I'm cracking along okay with this. I've got every tool and piece of equipment in the place spread out everywhere just to get the room. But what I've got, I've mounted those up, so they're all good. Got them fixed off to the framework behind, and as I said, put some plates on the ground, dynabolted them down there, so that's rock solid. It's all good. And then I got some of that gal from the bird cages down the back, cleaned it up and tacked it across the back there. And I've just got this one in the front here, so just about to weld it on. So cleaned up all the gal, cleaned up the steel. I'm going to round these edges off, or at least angle them off, because I know that I'm going to clean my head up on them. Just know it. And we'll get that welded. And then, as I said, I can sort out the additional layers, the additional shelves. I wanted to do it on the ground, but I think it's going to be easier to get it level and all on the same plane and everything when it's on the wall. So it'll be what it'll be. Bit of work on the ladder, but it's coming along. I'm happy with it. Well, that'll be strong enough for the purpose. It's just got to hold steel, so it'll do well. Honesty be told, I blew a hole straight through the back of that one up there, but it's got plenty of strength in the front. All good. Just rounded the edges of those off, as I said. It'll still be a little bit hot. The idea is that when I smash my head on it, I don't bleed as much. So that should be okay. No two angles are the same. All freehand here. Now we're really kicking along. So, got these shelves in, front and rear bars. I put some spacer bars in there just to hold the wire up through there. And I also put some intermediate bars in, just to give it plenty of strength. Again, recycled wire. So far the only part that is new is this blue 25mm square section, but I already had that. So all the rest of it's just scrap that I either had lying around or I've found on this property. 8 brackets. Now in your time, that was 1 minute. And if you watched that whole minute, then good on you, thank you. In real time, that was 24 minutes. Still not bad. What's that? 24 minutes, 8 brackets. That's 3 minutes each. That was 3 minutes. Oh, actually, I'd already cleaned some of them. Let's say 4 minutes each to clean them up and notch them out and just chamfer the edges and so on. So I got 4 lefts and 4 rights, and what that will do is they will weld onto the post. So the notch is just simply to be able to slot over the steel on the post. So that's the post. That'll go like that, and it'll just be welded straight to it. So I'll have to clean up the blue steel posts on the wall. So if you watch the video, my last video or the one before, the last video I think it was, on the running boards, the prototype, the first one, always takes the longest. Then after that, if you can get into a bit of a production line, it doesn't have to take forever, no matter what it is. If you're doing multiples of something, just get yourself into a zone, get yourself worked out, and go ahead and do it. You don't have to do it that way, I just find it saves time. So I've got this new bracket set to the height that I want, and I just went for a height that felt right, and I think it's 280 mil or something from memory. That's not really relevant, so I've just made it the height. I can reach into the baskets that will be here for this one. I should be able to reach the steel that's on this one from the ground, and then the one that's up the top, I'll have to stand on a ladder or something to get to it, but it'll be pretty easy. So what I've got is my digital angle finder, and I've got it set to the same angle as the shelf below it. And as it turns out, that just happened to be 5 degrees. So what I did, I put it on the shelf like this, and it's reading at 0. So what happens, I'll turn it off. So when I'll turn it off. So when it's turned off, it does nothing. So you turn it on, and it'll tell me that it's 5 degrees. But then I can press it again and set it to my new 0. So it is now set to 0. So when I go to put my next shelf in, I just marked out the height that I wanted. So I got this end at the height that I wanted, and then I put my angle finder on here and adjust it and tap it until it gets to 0. Now it changes a little bit every now and then. It's minuscule parts of a degree. We're talking minor stuff here. So if I was to rotate that just on the bracket, it would change anyway. It will eventually. So I'll get that so that it's bang on 0. And then when it's on 0, not that it matters, just so that it's all the same. So it's now on 0. So I can weld that bracket off. I've got it to the height that I want. I've got it to the angle, so the same as the one below it. Then you saw me earlier transfer the height along on the post using my spirit level. Can't even see the mark. Using my spirit level, so it's level from one end to the other. Weld this bracket in this way, do the one on the other, run a string line between, and they'll all be the same. Coming to the end of another day here. Daylight wise, I'm going to keep working. Davina's been in the garden today, cleaning up around the pool area. He's having a break. I think he's had a swim as well. Having a bit of a chill, and she's got old mate Helmet come to visit her. Apparently he was over closer saying good day earlier. He's one of our many water dragons. Completely harmless. I do think he's sizing her up to eat her, but I'll tell her that he's completely harmless. So it's a bit hard to tell, but he's probably about 1.5 foot long, or close to 500 mil from tip to tip. He's a friendly little bugger. See them all around the place. Got a bunch of them, but this guy we call Helmet because he's got a massive head. There is a joke behind that, which I'm not going to share with you. Got all 4 brackets welded on the ends. I did notch those ones out and then realised I didn't need to, so it doesn't really matter. And I have run a string line between that point there, along the wall, and to there. And then I've simply put Sharpie marks where the string line is, and that means same thing. I will fix the bracket to that point and make sure that it's got the 5 degrees of lean back as per the other one using my little digital angle finder. Then I'll do the same thing for the top one, weld all 4 on, and we're done. Well, I'm really happy with the way this has come up. I've just got steel sitting on it at the moment just to show how it's going to work. I'm going to make up cages for the bottom bit here so I can put all my smaller pieces in. I never throw anything out. Fitzy's Fabrications, don't throw anything out. That's what I do. I keep it all. I'll get some longer lengths of steel, we'll put it up there. But at the end of the day, I'm getting it. I'm getting organised. I'm happy about that. I like to work in an organised shop. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, share and subscribe. And yeah, as we say, share, tell a friend, tell them what they're missing out on. See you in the next one. Thanks a lot.